what if I told you that the exhaustion you feel every single day isn't actually your fault? What if there's a hidden enemy out there whose entire game plan is just to drain your energy and steal your joy? Well, today we're going to expose that playbook, and I'm going to give you the strategy to fight back and win.
I mean, think about it. You're showing up, you're working hard, doing all the right things for your job, for your family, but that feeling of being completely wiped out, it won't go away. And the joy you're supposed to be feeling feels like it's just out of reach. If this sounds like you have to know this isn't a personal failure. It's a targeted attack. And look, let's be super clear here. This isn't about being sleepy. This is a weapon. Fatigue is the thing that dulls your passion, that kills your motivation, and makes you question the very dreams you've poured your life into. It is literally designed to make you quit right before your biggest breakthrough.
So think of it like this. There's a two-part strategy. Plan A is the direct knockout punch, right? The big, obvious attack. But if that doesn't work to defeat you, the enemy just switches to Plan B, a long, slow war of attrition. The goal isn't to beat you in one big battle. Nope. It's to wear you down over time until you get so exhausted that you give up all on your own. To really see how this works, we gotta look at the incredible story of David. Now, we all know about him fighting the giant, but his biggest, longest battle, that was a 13-year war against burnout, betrayal, and that constant temptation to just give up.
I mean, just look at this timeline. He's promised a whole kingdom when he's just a teenager, but for the next 13 years, he's living like a fugitive. He's being hunted, hiding in caves, betrayed by people he should have been able to trust. And then it all hits rock bottom. His home gets destroyed, his family is captured, and his own loyal men, they want to kill him. And in that moment of just absolute despair, his destiny was only 3 days away. Can you even imagine that moment? Everything you've worked for is just gone. Everyone you trust has turned on you. You are completely and totally alone and exhausted. You have every single reason in the book to quit. But right there, in that moment of total desperation, David made a choice that changed everything.
And this was the turning point. See, he didn't wait for a sign from the heavens. He didn't wait for his friends to come pat him on the back and cheer him up. He encouraged himself. He started speaking words of victory when all he could see around him was defeat. He became his own cheerleader, his own source of strength. His power came from the inside. So David's story shows us the incredible power of our own mindset. But what happens when you're too exhausted even for that? There's another secret, one that's even simpler and honestly so often overlooked. If you've ever felt that kind of deep, bone-weary exhaustion, let me know by just tapping that like button as we uncover this next piece together.
Okay, so encouraging yourself is a total game changer, for sure. But what about when you are so physically and emotionally spent that you can't even put a positive thought together? When just one more setback feels like it's going to break you? Well, let's jump to our next story because it holds the key. All right, meet the prophet Elijah. This guy has just had a massive mountaintop victory. I mean, calling down fire from heaven in this epic showdown. He should be feeling invincible, right? Instead, a single threat from one person sends him into a total tailspin. He runs for a whole day into the wilderness, collapses under a tree, and just begs God, "Take my life, I've had enough." So in this moment of just complete and total collapse, an angel shows up. And you'd expect something super dramatic, wouldn't you? A clap of thunder, a powerful vision, some life-altering speech. But what happens next is so simple, so profound, and so completely unexpected. That's it. That is the message. No big lecture on faith, no complex spiritual formula, just 4 simple words. Get up and eat. The angel brought him fresh bread and water. Turns out the ultimate solution wasn't a spiritual battle. It was basically a sandwich and a nap. And here it is. This is the game-changing secret for so many of us. See, Elijah didn't have a faith crisis. He had a physical crisis. He was dehydrated, he was malnourished, and he was just utterly exhausted from running on adrenaline for 24 hours. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can possibly do is take care of your physical body. It all comes down to what I call your personal power system. You're a 3-part being: physical, emotional, and spiritual. And these aren't separate things, they're all deeply connected. If one of these batteries is drained, it starts pulling power from the others, leaving your entire system just depleted. So to win the war on exhaustion, you have to charge all three.
Okay, so let's get practical. First, to power up physically, you must prioritize sleep. It is not a luxury. It's the non-negotiable time when your body and your brain repair and recharge for the next battle. Next, you gotta fuel yourself with good food. You can't win a war running on caffeine and sugar fumes. And then intentionally take a full day of rest each week. And I don't mean a day to run errands. I mean true rest. And finally, move your body. It actually creates energy. It doesn't just use it up. This right here, this is your foundation.
All right, next, let's power up emotionally, because this is vital fuel. You have to literally schedule fun into your calendar, or I promise you, the urgent stuff will always crowd it out. Find reasons to laugh every single day because it's like a medicine that lowers the stress hormones that are draining you. And this is critical. Make time for people who fill your emotional tank, not the ones who drain it.
And finally, power up spiritually. This is how you connect to a source that's bigger than yourself. Before all the chaos of the day hits, just take 60 seconds to focus on gratitude. Intentionally fill your mind with what is hopeful, not just with what's stressful. And just like David, you've got to speak words of power over your own life. Don't just think it, say it out loud. I am strong. I am capable. I am equipped for this day.
So here's what this all boils down to for you. You were not created to just drag yourself through life feeling exhausted and drained and uninspired. That is not your destiny. By intentionally recharging your physical, your emotional, and your spiritual batteries, you can reclaim the energy that has been stolen from you. Look, the promise isn't a life without challenges. The promise is that you will have renewed strength to face them. You will have the power to run your race without burning out, to keep walking forward without fainting, and to soar above the very things that are trying to weigh you down.
So, I'll leave you with this question. What is the one practical thing you are going to commit to this week to recharge your power system? Is it getting more sleep, scheduling a fun night out, or maybe starting your day with those words of power? Go ahead and drop your commitment in the comments below. Let's take back our energy, starting right now.